The decision of getting out of your comfort zone is actually an identity shift. We know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. And we are afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of missing new people. We are afraid of making mistakes. Sometimes too, you're trying to protect something. You're trying to protect that version of yourself that you already know. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question? If I decide to stay in that environment, will my life change in the next 2 years? Hi, it's your sister Eve, your host, and you are listening to the Mensumo podcast, a safe space for women who want to grow, heal, and become a better version of themselves. It's a new week, it's a new episode, and I have to tell you that last week has been a week of teaching for me. In fact, I feel like I've entered into a season where I'm learning new things. And I'm learning new things, especially about my relationship with the Holy Spirit, my intimacy with the Holy Spirit. And I feel like I'm in a particular period or season where I have to learn a new expression of that intimacy. I've been used to a particular expression of that connection that I had with Him, and now it's trying to teach me that I have to learn new ways of um, connecting with Him, learn new ways of being in relationship with Him. So sometimes it's really hard for me. It's difficult because it feels like I have to let go of something that feels familiar for me to something that feels unfamiliar. And this is what we're actually going to talk about today. We are going to talk about getting out of our comfort zone. And I'm really excited because I feel like this is something that a lot of us are dealing with. There is the particular aspect of our life where we feel this tension between um getting out of our comfort zone, doing something different, doing something that maybe we are afraid of because we don't really know what else to do. We know that we have to make that move, but we find it difficult because we are attached to our past, to that relationship, that environment, that comfort zone. Hi, friend. If you have been enjoying the Mentimo podcast, I would like to invite you to the Mentimo community. This is a space for young women who want to grow and become together. In that community, you will find support, encouragement, and more. So, if you want to join the Mentimo community, the link is in the description. You just have to press on that link and you'll be part of our community. So I did some research about comfort zone, what it actually means, and I found out that a comfort zone is a psychological state where a person feels safe, familiar, and in control with little stress or risk. That means that a comfort zone is a space, a person, an environment, or something that help us feel safe. You know, when you are around that person, when you are around when you are in that environment, when you have that thing, you feel that sense of safety. You feel like you don't have to take risks. You feel safe. And sometimes this is good. It's good to feel like you have someone with whom you can feel safe. It's good to feel like you have the job that helps you to feel safe. But at the same time, this is something that can hinder you to go to the next level. Do you understand? If you don't pay attention, if you're not careful about the different season of your life, you find yourself in a situation where you know that you have to move forward, you know that you have to go to the next level, but you're stuck because you are afraid of the future, you are afraid of whatever will happen on the other side, and you don't really know how to do it. When I think about myself, one situation where I knew that I needed to step out of my comfort zone is when I started this podcast. Starting this podcast really taught me a lot of things. Yeah, because I already told you that I'm not, my English is not my first language, so I'm Francophone. So for me to start this podcast was a real challenge. It was really difficult at the beginning, but I knew that I needed to make that move. And when I'm sharing this story, it's not for you to be afraid. It's not for you to feel like, yes, this is difficult, but I want to encourage you. I want you to know that if I was able to make that move, if I was able to start that podcast, despite my weaknesses, despite my my level of English that wasn't so good, but I knew that I needed to start from my level. I knew that I didn't need to have all the resources. I knew that what I need was my willingness, not perfection. Do you understand? So wherever you are right now, and you know that you have to make a next move, you know that you have to do something different, whether it's a business that you have to start, whether it's that relationship that you have to leave, no matter what you have to do for you to go to that next level, to the next level, please, you need to understand that you don't have to have all the resources. You don't have to have all figured out. You just need to be willing to make the move and you will see the change. Sometimes we struggle to step out of our comfort zone because we are so used to that comfort zone. We know what we know and we don't know what we don't know. And we are afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of missing new people. We are afraid of making mistakes. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. We want to be comfortable in whatever that we want to do. And this is also the trap because if you don't decide to make the next move, you will not see that you will be a better version of yourself, even if the uncomfortable place. Yes, if you make that move, maybe you won't be understood. Maybe people will laugh at you. Maybe people will tell you that you are making a mistake. But if you keep doing this, you will see that in that uncomfortable place, there's actually a better version of yourself. In that uncomfortable place, if you are able to face that challenge, if you are able to do it anyway, despite your weaknesses, despite your whatever that you may feel at the moment, whatever emotions or feelings that you may feel at the moment, if you're willing to do it despite that, you will feel like and you will see that you become a better version of yourself. Sometimes too, you are trying to protect something. You're trying to protect that version of yourself that you already know. You're trying to protect that um job, you're trying to protect that relationship, you're trying to protect that person. But the cost of staying in that relationship would be more expensive than the cost of leaving. The cost of staying in that comfort zone would be more expensive. It would be more expensive than the cost of leaving that relationship because you are not sure that if you stay in that environment, in that comfort zone, that maybe in 2 years that your life will change. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question? If I decide to stay in that environment, will my life change in the next 2 years? If the answer to that question is no, then you have to move to the next level. Because the thing is, sometimes we talk a lot about the cost of living. I don't know what will happen. I don't know how it's going to be. This is different. This is new for me. But we don't really talk about the cost of staying. Sometimes staying will cost you a lot. It will cost you your peace. It will cost you your joy. It will cost you your strength. It will cost you a better version of yourself. It will cost you freedom. And sometimes we don't really look at it. We feel like we are so comfortable in that situation because we know it. No. If you stay in that relationship, are you sure that your life is going to change? If you stay with that person, if you don't decide to start that business, are you sure that your life is going to change? Yes, you have to answer to that question. If the answer is no, then you have to make that decision, even if you don't know what will happen on the other side. That is the truth. One thing that people don't really understand is that the decision of getting out of your comfort zone is actually an identity shift. Because when you decide to make that decision, you are telling yourself that you are going to write a new page of your story. You are telling yourself that something new is going to happen, something that doesn't look like your past, something that is different. You're telling yourself that you're willing to discover yourself more, that you are willing to discover the gifts that are hidden on the inside of you, the talents that are hidden on the inside of you. Do you understand? This is actually a discovery. This is a way of allowing yourself to discover new things about yourself, to discover that you have a better personality, to discover things about yourself that you were not even aware of. This is an opportunity to learn from yourself. When I think about myself, starting this podcast made me notice new capacities that I wasn't aware of, strength that I wasn't aware of. because yes, it was really challenging for me, but even in the challenges, the fact that I was able to record again and again and again, to come, to write the scripts, to speak, to practice, that actually helps me to build that inner strength. And this is something that people don't really understand. Even when you make a decision to get out of your comfort zone, this is also another journey. But in that journey, you will discover new capacities, you will discover new strength. You will discover that you're stronger than you think. You discover another version of you. So this is something that you want to also think about, that making a decision, making a new move, doing something different is actually an opportunity to grow. This is an opportunity for you to do something different. All of us, we have an area of our life where we're struggling, where we are stuck, and we're trying to figure things out. How we're going to change? How we're going to move on to the next level? And for me, I think that one thing that I'm actually working on is my obsession with perfectionism. You know that I suffered from low self-esteem, depression, and all of those things. So for me, I thought that, and I told myself that if I was able to be perfect in all the things that I wanted to do, then people would love me. Do you understand? So for me, in everything that I wanted to do, whether it's um this podcast or any other thing, I wanted to be perfect. Not to be perfect for the sake of being perfect, but I wanted to be perfect so that people can love me. And this is something that I think a lot of people are also struggling with. But working on this podcast also made me realize that I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to be willing to come and to share my story. I needed to be authentic. And sometimes being authentic will require from you to make mistakes, to say things that things that don't have sense, that don't make any sense, to be yourself with all your flaws and your strength. You understand? So for me, it was that area, and it's still that area that I'm working on. I don't know for you. I don't know what is the area where you feel like you're stuck and that you need to work on in order for you to get out of your comfort zone. But what I want to tell you is that it won't be easy for sure. But the fact that you decide, the fact that you make the decision to change things, to
So
do it
we are at the
anyway,
end of this
that
video.
is
Thank you for
actually
listening. And
telling you
if
that
you
you are
are in a
strong.
season where you
That is
feel like you
actually
have
lets
to
me
step
know
out
that
of your
you
comfort
can do
zone,
it.
I would like
And
to
actually lets
encourage
me
you
know
and tell
that
you that you are
this
not
is not
alone.
something
That
that
no matter what
will
is
bring
happening,
you
no matter
down.
how you
That this is an
feel, no
opportunity
matter
to
the
grow.
doubts
And
or
you will
how you
make it
feel
through
about
it.
the
You would,
decision
at the
that
end
you're
of the day,
struggling to
you
make,
become a better version of
everything
yourself.
will be okay. Okay, so see you in the next episode. Bye.